Hello there, welcome to another episode of the Allotment Dram. This is a series of short videos where we sit and talk about different whiskies in the surroundings of our North London allotment. You join me here today on quite a gloomy sort of late October afternoon, feeling very autumnal now. You know, it's really changed in the last couple of weeks or so. Even since I've done the last couple of videos, it's really feeling like autumn now. But got on with quite a few jobs. Nothing too glamorous, unfortunately, but while that is all very interesting, I am here to talk about whiskey, of course. And what is the Allotment Dram today, I hear you ask? Well, it's another brand new whiskey, it's another brand new Irish whiskey, and today it's the Method and Madness Rye Malt. So this is from the Method and Madness range, which is a innovative, sort of experimental, slightly boundary pushing range of whiskies from Irish distillers. So the biggest producer of whiskey in Ireland, own things like Jameson, Redbreast, the Spot family, so like Green Spot, Yellow Spot, etc., Powers, so lots of big brands, but this is kind of like their sort of innovative experimental side project, to the degree where they actually built a micro distillery within their main Middleton distillery down in County Cork, which is where all those other brands are produced. So in one of these old warehouses from the 1840s, they converted it and have put in a micro distillery, which actually started production in 2015. And what's very special about this particular bottle is that this is the first product that's been made there and then followed the whole process through, so the maturation and so on. So this is the first product that's been made on those stills in the micro distillery and then sort of aged in the casks and then released, whereas everything before has been made within the main Middleton distillery and been experimented with in other ways. But this is the first one off those stills, so very exciting actually. And why is it called Rye Malt? Well, that's because you've got those two grains together within the mash, so you've actually got 60% rye and 40% malted barley, so it's going to create quite a different sort of feel and flavour profile. And then it's double distilled through these copper pot stills, really small stills. In fact, if it was in operation the whole year rather than doing these little experiments, the distillery output would be literally like 50,000 litres, something like that. So really small scale, but very nice to see, and very cool I think, to see a massive company like Irish Distillers kind of pushing into this sort of innovative, slightly artisanal sort of area. But within the micro distillery itself, they're experimenting with firstly these different cereal mixes, so like you've got here with the rye and the malt. They're doing like different sort of washes, different distillation times, different fermentation times, different cuts from the still, to kind of see how that kind of can again push boundaries, and then also different types of cask to mature these experimental whiskies in. So yeah, very, very exciting. And what can I tell you about this? This is 46%. It's been matured in old bourbon casks, and it's exclusive to Ireland and the UK. Going to cost around £70, so just over €80, something like 82, 83 euros, something like that. So I think without further ado, we should probably have a little taste and see what's going on here. So we just grab the glass. It's got this lovely sort of golden yellow colour to start with. It's one of our favourite sounds, of course. Down, here we are. So it's got a lovely freshness. There's quite a floral note here actually. The heather honey, it's quite gripping cereals, butterscotch, obviously ton of vanilla as well, and like fresh vanilla pods rather than sort of vanilla essence or anything, extracts, anything like that. A bit of toffee as well. Just a little touch of like green apple. There's a bit of, very in the background, there's a bit of like tropical fruits, compote or something like that. Let's have a taste. It starts off really woody and spicy. So you've got quite a lot of oak, like freshly sawn oak or sawdust in there. Bit of tannin, like drying as well. And then quite a lot of warming spice. There's some white pepper. You've got some powdered ginger in there. A bit of cinnamon as well. And then it's quite gripping, like grips your taste buds. But then it's starting to settle down now, and I'm starting to get like wave upon wave of, there's some vanilla, there's a little bit of like creamed coconuts. Actually the whole feel is much more creamy. Then you've got like some peach and apricots, maybe kind of tending towards those sort of that tropical fruit compote that I've just got a slight detection of on the nose. But yeah, really now quite juicy. Makes me want to have another taste, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Makes you lick your lips. It's like really quite delicious. Once you get over that kind of initial warm, peppery spiciness and that sort of quite intense woodiness, it then kind of becomes creamy, gentle. It's now much more that butterscotch, that vanilla. It's like a floral honey, like a heather honey, something like that. But yeah, really really interesting, and very, very interesting to see. Obviously this is the first product, so you know, what else have they got in the tank? You know, I'm sure we'll see over the sort of coming months and years sort of other experiments that have been happening since 2015 in there. So you know, very, very interesting, and we love the concept. We're very lucky to have actually been over to see the Micro Distillery literally when it was just starting up. So you know, it was very, very privileged to go and see that, and it is wonderful. It's not on if you do the normal tour around Middleton, they don't really show you that, because it's kind of off the side of a courtyard in one of these old warehouse buildings, as I said. But yeah, very, very interesting. So yeah, I think that's probably about it. You know, search it out if that sounds interesting. You know, mixing malt and rye is yeah, pretty cool. Obviously much more of an American thing, but this was inspired by the fact that they found some old documentation of John Jameson using rye within his mash sort of back in the day. So you know, really intriguing, and yeah, definitely worth trying. You know, even if you see it in a bar, it's worth trying. You know, you don't have to buy the whole bottle. But from myself and the Method and Madness Rye Malt, we will bid you farewell, let you get on with doing whatever you were doing before you found this video, and we will see you again for another Allotment Dram very soon, I hope. Cheers.